you tuning into the Black House Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. Massive. Stay tuned. Oh, is that you? Is that you?
What Africa woman. Hey.
Look at you, super too. Look at you, super too. Ingefanya watu wanataka huku. Mnabamba, mnatumani sana. Mnatulisha matendo tuweka sana. Tunawapenda, tunawaenzi sana. Ina sababu si watu tunapenda kujigamba. When you fight, when everybody look at you, wanaona height. Cause ain't nobody out there better than you, mama. You make a man humble and chill when it turns out.
Thank God for it. Thank God for the blessing.
And you're tuning into the Black House Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. Massive.
Thank God for the blessing. Thank God for the blessing. Thank God for the blessing.
And you're tuning into the Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. Massive.
Yes, so wagong my people, how are you doing? Karibuni sana once again to the African Diary Show, and today is on a Wednesday. I hope you're doing great. I hope your day is coming along well, and also I hope it is starting with a positivity, or rather with a lot of positivity. Karibuni sana once again. This is the African Diary Show. To all those who are joining us for the first time, karibuni sana. Feel at home and make sure as you join us officially. Subscribe to our channel. If you're there watching me on Rumble, make sure you also smash the like button and also become a member of the Black Hot Fire Network community. Excuse me. Hey, how am I choking in the beginning of the show? But I'm sorry about that. Excuse me. And yes, Karibuni Sana. I was telling you, in case you're there joining us for the first time, please make sure you join the Blackout Fire Network community and also you become part of the family. And to all those who are with me on YouTube, please make sure as you join us, you smash the like button and also you tell us how your day is. Karibuni Sana. I hope we get to enjoy this amazing show with you, and also I hope you get to interact with me, and do let me know how are you doing today. Do let me know how you'll get to feel about the conversation we shall be having, or rather our topics of the day. And also we shall be discussing about South Africa, and it is now an issue with water. And you, as you can see, my topic is fast power, now water. We don't know what is happening, what exactly is happening in South Africa, but we shall get to be discussing all about South Africa. And as we continue, today might be the longest day of this year because we are at summer solstice. That is on 21st June. To all those who started their summer on June 1st, that will go to up to August. I hope this day don't become any longer for you. But yes, today might be the longest day of this year because we are at June 1st, and that is when the summer solstice get to happen. But anyway, we shall be getting to see what is summer solstice to those who don't understand what I'm saying about the longest day of this year. But anyway, karibuni tena sana. K Williams, I see you in the building. Shout out to you. To everybody who is there, please make sure you smash the like button, and also please get to interact with us. What do you know about summer solstice? Is it something that is real? Are you going to experience the longest day of the year, or it is something that is always now talked about but never happens? Do let me know what you think about the matter, and also do let me know where are you going, or which places do you think that will experience the summer solstice, because I believe in Africa we shall not be experiencing summer solstice because we began the winter. Yes, so we are at winter for now in Africa. We're not at summer. So I believe in Africa we shall not. Yes, our winter starts at June 1st to August 31st. So we are at winter in Africa. But to all those who are in summer right now, they are the only ones who are going to experience the summer solstice. But we started off the show with an amazing jam done by Ivia. It is called the Blessings, or rather Watoto wa Kiafrika. And I hope we did get to jam onto it. We shall go back to one more jam, and then we come back with our conversation of the day, and also as we get to know more about summer solstice, and also which regions will be experiencing summer solstice today. Kerry Williams, I see you saying, Kerry, what's up? Hope all is well with you. All is well with me, brother. Hope all is well with you too. And also, you're saying you are at work. It is 7:42 a.m. and yes, it is 2:42 p.m. right here in Nairobi. And you're saying, yes, they are destroying South Africa with the water and electricity. Yes, we shall be getting to discuss more of that, or rather more about that. So let's get back to one more jam, and then we shall come back with our quote of the day. In case you have some wise words, in case you have some motivational quotes of the day you'd love to share with us, please make sure you keep it coming. This is still Ivia. The jam is Nakupenda. I hope you get to jam onto it. Baby.
Na ikifika mwisho tena would rather rain. So hata wakihepa kweli, they should know that you're mine, that you're mine, that you're mine. And I ain't never letting you go. Oh baby, you should know that you're mine. Na ikifika mwisho tena
Be by that side.
so hata wakihepa kweli, they should know you're my wine, that you're mine, that you're mine. And I ain't never letting you go. You baby, right? You got me up in my mind. And I don't wanna say, I don't wanna die if you let me be inside. So let it be the same, let it be me and you in this game. So baby, you got me up in my mind.
Hey. Where? My quote of the day says, or rather, this is an African proverb. It says, the ears that do not listen to advice accompany the head when it is chopped off. Ears that do not listen to the advice accompany the head when it is being chopped off. Where? 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 Nitakupenda wewe in every single way. Hata kija shida wewe.
In every single way, I'm a ride or die. Natifike mwisho patante.
Nitakuwa na wewe. And for us,
baby, you should know that you
make me.
In many little ways, you make me smile. Natifike mwisho
Bado nitakuwa na wewe. And for us, you got me up in my mind.
And I don't wanna say, but I would have died if you left me aside. So let it be the same, let it be me and you in this game. You baby, where you
got me up in my mind. In everywhere, where. Hata kija shida wewe. Nitakupenda wewe.
The Black House Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy.
Okay. Karibuni once again. Of course, this is the African Diary Show. Karibu sana Unsunken One. I hope you're doing well. And Kate Williams is saying, Katie, I'm glad to see you all sober this morning. I was worried about you. Lol. You thought I was gonna drink all the gin in the studio or something. But anyway, you're saying my quote of the day is when you think people's ears hurt, zoe hiyo kitu, get used to that because I'm not quitting singing because of you. Get used to that. But anyway, karibuni sana, and I hope you're doing well. And I told you, yes, of course, today is the longest day of the year, and the reason is that we are at June 21st. We all know on June 21st is where we get to experience the longest day to all those countries that are experiencing summer right now. But for Africa, it is way different because we are in winter, we're not in summer. So summer solstice is the longest day of the year for most of the world's population. And the summer solstice is an astronomical event that marks the longest day of the year and the start of the summer in the northern hemisphere. The summer solstice is an astronomical event that it is nearly always falls on June 21st, but can also fall on June 20th or June 22nd. To all those who are in a country that the weather season is or they are in summer right now, can you tell me if you have already experienced the summer solstice, the longest day of the year? And because it is supposed to be June 21st, 20th, or 22nd. And I'd love to know. I'd love to know how was the how was the longest day of your life. But anyway, depending on the year and the time zone you are in, and on that day, nearly 90% of the world's population who live above the equator in the northern hemisphere. Ah, okay, I lost that. Uh-huh. Who live in the northern hemisphere, or other who live above the equator in the northern hemisphere, will have the longest period of daylight in the year, and also the shortest night. And also I see okay, okay. But I see the summer solstice occurs when the sun is at the highest position in the sky. This happens once every year because the Earth's axis is titled by about 23.5 degrees relative to its orbital plane around the sun. This tilt is also what causes the changing seasons. And also I see for several days of weeks before and after June 21st. Those living in the Arctic, including parts of Alaska, Canada, Greenland, and Scandinavia, will have continuous daylight, resulting in what is known as midnight sun. And the summer solstice occurs when I lost that. And the summer solstice also marks the first day of summer into astronomical terms for those living in the northern hemisphere. Astronomers use the dates of the two solstices and two equinoxes to mark the seasons. The equinox occurs when the sun crosses the equator's path and is positioned exactly between the northern and the southern hemisphere. So, in case you're there, you did experience the summer solstice. You can tell us, or rather, if you're waiting for it, or rather, if it's supposed to be happening on either on 20th, 21st, but especially on 21st, or rather on 22nd, according to the time zone of your area, or rather of your region. So if you're there, you have experienced already the summer solstice, you can let us know how was the longest day of your year, how was it feeling, or rather how does it feel. But if you're still waiting, you will tell us tomorrow, or maybe the day after tomorrow. But the astronomical seasons for the northern hemisphere are best approximated. Spring is March 21st. Summer is starts on June 21st. Autumn starts on September 21st. Winter starts on December 21st. Meteorologists, on the other hand, use temperature cycles to divide the year into 4 seasons. Exactly, these 3 months are long. Yes, that is now it is what is happening. So if in case you find that today is longer, don't be worried about what is happening. Yes, it is called the summer solstice. But I hope you're doing well. I hope even if it's going to be long, it's not going to be longer, or rather it's not going to affect your day. But in the northern hemisphere, spring runs from, yes, I told you, from 1st March to 31st. Summer runs from June 1st to August 31st. And now in Africa, I told you we are in now winter, so we're not going to experience that. And I think for the longest time, Africa has never experienced the summer solstice. But I see I see Kivio saying you're not on TikTok now, Katie. Ain't nobody going to call you beautiful all. It's okay. I know I'm beautiful. I don't need validation. But I see Ansan Kenon, you're saying, don't mind my pocket typing, okay? Okay. And Ken Williams is saying, I want to give a shout out to Sugar Mama and Joby. Hope your ladies are well. Yes, they are well. And Sankanan is saying, yes, today is the longest day in Tampa. Officially, it is summer, but it is always summer here, even during winter. Oh, Oh, so I just want to know now, how is the experience of having a longer day than the others? How is the experience? Because I don't think in Africa we've ever experienced a summer solstice, because our summer starts, or maybe, yeah, but no, our summer starts now from December 1st to 28th or 29th of February. So I don't think in Africa we ever experience the summer solstice, but you can let us know. Rather, you can just give me an idea of how it feels like now to have a longer day than the others. But as we continue away from all climatic conditions and also the weather, can we get to something else? And this is about Sierra Leone. And we know Sierra Leone is supposed to go to the polls on Saturday, and that is on June 24th. Today we are on June 21st. So on Saturday is when the people are set to go to the ballot boxes and cast their votes. And Sierra Leone's Mada Bio is seeking re-election amid economic woes, and this is the now president of Sierra Leone. And we've seen this. We have normalized of we have a normality of now these African puppets seeking re-election after leaving the country in wars and coming back with a claim of, I'll make your country better. This time I didn't have enough time, but if you give me this second chance, I'll do great things for you. But at the end of the day, nothing gets to happen, and now I feel like we should. Now it is okay to keep on changing leaders until we're satisfied, but at the end of the day, remember, elections don't happen in Africa. People are just put in those seats, and your vote will never count. But approximately 3.4 million Sierra Leoneans are expected to vote in a general election on Saturday, in which incumbent President Julius Maada Bio is seeking a second and final term amid frustrations over economic hardship. And economic hardship are being experienced by any other country, especially here in Africa. Not only in Africa, we've seen so many countries struggling with their economy, but in Africa, I'd say this is on us. We are the ones to blame. These puppets are the ones to blame, because at the end of the day, we have the power and we have every reason to be having the best economy in Africa. But what are we doing? We keep on being enslaved. We keep on depending on those European nations. We keep on depending on other continents for some things that we can be able to do for ourselves. Look what has led to that, or rather, look now where we are. Look who is crying. It is Africa. Who is starving to death? It is Africans. And this is now an effect of us depending on the European continent so much. And voters will also elect members of parliament and local councillors across the West African states, which is experiencing massive unemployment, high levels of inflation, and a depreciating currency. Yes, this is all the things that we have seen in Africa. One, unemployment. Yesterday we were talking about unemployment, and remember, even we started talking about unemployment from morning on the Vibe Show. And we said, and I told you, we had so many listeners complaining about uh, being unemployed. And they said also, when they went to school, they studied some courses that are not selling right now, that are not marketable right now. So they found themselves doing the work that they were not to do, or rather, they find themselves in different career works, or rather in different career paths that they never wanted to end in. And it is crazy because of lack of employment, and also now we have the youths who are very idle at home, and this is why we have also high crime rates in Africa. This is why you'd hear somebody has been shot, some thieves as robbed a bank, some thieves were seen somewhere, and this is why we have high crime rates right here in Africa. Also talk about high levels of inflation. I feel like every African country is facing high level of inflation, and also their currency depreciating. Why is this? The dollar is collapsing, and at the same time our currency also is determined by the dollar. So right now in Kenya, we've seen our Kenyan shillings depreciating every day, and I feel like it is because we always led by the dollar. We always, like, our currency is always determined by how the dollar is, and how the dollar is going for. So I feel like, yes, it is because we have depended on these people too much, and this is why now we even experience economic wars when we are supposed not to experience the economic wars. Remember, I was telling you, if Africa would have a common currency, we should not be hurt by whatever is happening to the dollar. We should not be hurt by whatever is happening to those other foreign currencies, because our our now African currency should be setting the tone of the market. But right now, the dollar is setting the tone of the market. Remember, right now it is collapsing because we have the BRICS, we have other currencies that are trying to maneuver into the market. So it is just crazy. Also remember, and the depreciation of the currencies right here in Africa, and I told you it's because of the dollar. Once we are associated with the dollar, it is always going to affect us. So as Africans, I told you it is high time we get to start doing whatever is right. But we were talking about Sierra Leone's Mada Bio. This is the president of Sierra Leone. He's seeking re-election after he has failed to be the best president of Sierra Leone. And you'd see the Sierra Leoneans are re-electing this person. You know, you'll find these people re-electing this president, or rather you'll find that now he has already been put for a second term. And it is crazy because he has led the country to a lot of poverty, to a lot of wars, to a lot of crying, but he'll still become the president. He'll still get another term. Crazy. In August 2022, there were protests in Freetown and several northern towns about soaring cost of living, resulting in more than 20 deaths as security agents fired at protesters. The poll is the fifth presidential election since the end of a 1991 to 2002 civil war, in which more than 50,000 people were killed, hundreds maimed, and hundreds of thousands displaced. Abaya, who is 59 years of age, is seen as the front runner in the 13 candidate presidential race. His biggest challenger is Samura Kamara of the main opposition All People's Congress Party, who narrowly lost to Bayo in the last 2018 election. Kande Yumkela, a former United Nations Under Secretary General who came third in 2019, is not running, has thrown his weight behind the president. It is crazy that now we're going to see people of Sierra Leone voting in this person again. Or rather, I hope that now we get, even if it is a different puppet, sometimes we have all puppets. I believe they have their own impact to the community, or rather to the country, because at the end of the day, we won't be led by the same puppets with all the thoughts every time. I think it is okay now to keep on exchanging them until now we get to a revolution and find the best leaders, or find pan-Africanist leaders. But before we continue, let me go through the comments and see what is happening. I see Kay Williams is saying people in South Africa better take a stand. No water, no electricity. And also Ansen Kenon is saying where there is no shame, there is no honor. And that is an African proverb. You're saying it is a Congolese proverb. Thank you. And also I see Kay Williams is saying black people globally have nothing but sell out leaders. Very true. Very, very true. We cannot even say we have leaders, we have pan-Africanists. No, we don't. And also I see Kay Williams is saying, Katie, do not vote for none of those no good leaders. Of course, I wouldn't waste my day, or rather my even 1 second, waking up and thinking about to go to vote, because my vote will never count at the end of the day. It is until now we find the best ways, or rather, we find the best leaders. And I see Kay Williams is saying, I vote for you to be president. You would change Kenya around, but you have to stay off the moonshine. Oh my God. Did you see me drinking? Did you see me drinking moonshine, Kay Williams? When did you see me drunk? But anyway, away from that, let's get to other news and updates. And as we continue, keep on letting me know what you think about the matters we have already discussed right here. And I've had yesterday we were celebrating. Yes. Yesterday I was very angry because it was a World Refugees Day, and I was like, how comes we have World Refugee Refugees Day? And I was like, wait, people are supposed to be celebrating living in camps and living under harsh conditions. That didn't settle right with me, and also it felt like this is something that is very wrong. Okay, yesterday we say that now when Europeans come to Africa, they are asylum seekers, but now when it is Africans even moving to other African countries, they are migrants and refugees. And today I woke up to some information about Rwanda saying that Rwanda is no refugee for UK asylum seekers. And this is something that is very good. But also get to listen what they are saying in this whole story. And then you get to know how the propaganda is passed by the media. Okay? So let's get to read this article. As we mark another World Refugee Day, that was yesterday, the government of the United Kingdom appears determined to overcome all remaining legal hurdles in order to start sending people seeking asylum there to my home country, Rwanda. Home Secretary Suella Braveman has recently claimed that Rwanda has a track record of successfully resettling and integrating people who are refugees or asylum seekers, insisting that my country can comfortably accommodate all those seeking refuge in the UK. Okay? Yesterday, we were talking about how when it is African people, we are called refugees. When they come to our countries, they call us, or when they come to our countries, that now they are asylum seekers. Okay, now what is happening, or what this woman is saying, that now their country, this is Rwanda, is is able, or can be able to comfortably accommodate those seeking refuge in the UK. Okay, so the Rwanda is talking about its own people who are in the UK, who have migrated from Rwanda to the UK. Why do we have refugees, or rather, why do we have African people moving from Africa going to the other continents? Why do we have this? It is because we don't have the best conditions right here. It is because the environment, or rather the tone, we also feel like being in Africa is a threat, and they have made it look like that, because there's no way I'm walking every time as I'm seeing an open sewage, like we saw yesterday, or we were showing you yesterday. There's no way I'm waking up to some noise from a church, and in the UK I know I'll not find all those. So it has been like it has been a narrative of Africans moving from Africa going to other continents, of which it should not be happening, because one, Africa is the best place to be, but we have made it hostile and harsh for our own people to survive in it. And who are these people who make it very harsh for Africans to survive in Africa? Still, the Europeans. It is still the Europeans, because they come They start oppressing us in our own countries. And remember now, the countries you're migrating to, these other continents you're migrating to, this is where you are unwanted. Nobody wants you there. So when you go there, you also face racism, hatred. But you'd rather bear with that than being in your own continent. It doesn't make sense. Than suffering in your own countries. It doesn't make sense. However, Rwanda itself creates thousands of refugees every year, and its government is yet to guarantee a safe environment for Rwandan refugees settled across the world to return home. Okay, we have people migrating from Rwanda, okay? Then we have the Rwandan government taking asylum seekers from all corners of the world, taking refugees from all corners of the world. We have Rwanda taking Europeans to come and settle in their country, while we have Rwandans who are migrating from their own country. Why is this? It is because we're making the Europeans feel more comfortable in our countries than we are comfortable in our own countries. And this is why they keep on humiliating us. They even come to our countries, start mistreating us on our own lands, on our own grounds. Because we have made it look like, yes, it is favorable for you to come and live in Africa than it is for me. So I must find a way to go to the UK. I must find a way to go to other continents because in Africa I'm unwanted. And remember, this is your own home where you feel so unwanted that you are okay to go and face racism in other continents. Why is this? Why is this? Because I feel like this is not something that should be happening. Africans should not be leaving their own continent to other continents, or rather for other continents. We should be remaining in our own countries. But right now, the Europeans are coming, taking our countries, and we are leaving them for them. Because when they come, we leave. When they come, now we pack our bags and go. Why is this? Why are we leaving them for our why are we leaving our lands for them? Why are we leaving Africa for them while we should be fighting for Africa? Why is this? Anyway, let me continue with this article. According to the United Nations, the Refugee Agency, that is a UNHCR, in 2021 alone, some of 12,838 Rwandans fled the country and applied for asylum elsewhere. And in this tragic trend, did not start recently. Rwandans have been forced to seek safety abroad in significant numbers since before the country's independence in 1962. The Rwandan Revolution of 1959, for example, pushed some 300,000 Rwandans, or rather Rwandanese people, into exile in neighboring Tanzania, Burundi, the Democratic Republic of Congo, then Zaire, and Uganda. Just over a decade later, in 1973, a coup d'etat caused an additional 40,000 to flee the country. In 1973, coup in which Juvenal assumed power transformed Rwanda into a single party state for over 2 decades. One party remained in power with its chairman, the sole presidential candidate, consecutively winning elections with close to 100% of the votes. During this era, Rwanda was commended for its economic achievements, good relationship with the regional states, and overall stability, but it was also widely criticized for its human rights violation and lack of democracy. And it is just crazy. It is just crazy. Habyarimana administration did very little to bring back home the thousands of refugees who left in 1955, 59, and 1973. In 1990, the Rwandan Patriotic Front, an armed group made up the descendants of those who fled the country in the wake of a 1959 revolution, and launched an attack on Rwanda. The country finally returned to a multi-party system in 1991 and 1993. Habyarimana's government reached a fragile peace agreement with the RPF. By then, the number of Rwandan refugees and the Rwandans of undetermined status living in the neighboring countries had reached to 600,000. It is just crazy hearing that now we have black people moving from their own countries and letting the Europeans come and they occupy their own countries. But what has led to this? Of course, these people are not fleeing their countries because they want. These people are just like those people who go and seek employment to from other African nations. Sorry, from other now continents. Because if you are in a state where there is insecurity, like everything is very expensive, the cost of living is very high. How are you supposed to survive in that economy? Of course, so many people would be fleeing their countries. Of course, so many people will be upset by what is happening in their countries. So I feel like it is the living conditions, or rather the cost of living, and also the economy that is pushing so many Africans to leave their countries. But remember, we all, everything, or rather every problem has a solution. Because we can't be saying that the solution is fleeing our own countries and now becoming refugees in the European nations. No, those people hate us. Those people clearly shows us that we don't want you here, and then that is where you're running to. You better face racism than stand on your own grounds and fight for your rights. This is what Africans has turned to. Like, you are off better with those racist crackers than with your fellow African brothers fighting for peace. You're better off with you being hated, being subjected to hatred and racism, than being in your own country working for unity and trying to bring your people together and fight for what is rightful yours. Fight for democratic rights. You know, it is very sad that now the moment we leave, the more opportunity, the more chances we're giving the Europeans to come and occupy our countries. So I feel like we should even stop this notion of people migrating from Africa going to live abroad, because at the end of the day, this is not helping us. It is adding to our problems. It is adding to our problems. So as African people, let's stay in our own countries. Let's mend our own countries. Let's mend Africa. Let's make sure that Africa belongs to only black people. And by that, nobody will be coming to take advantage of us. No Chinese will be coming to Africa. No whites will be coming to Africa, because the moment we show them we are united, the moment we show them we know this is our land and you cannot come and start ruling us on our land, you will now see the power of that. You will now see Africans having the African they want. But now if we keep on moving from our own countries, going to other nations, or rather going to other continents, how will we solve the problem? Because of course you're not moving from Africa because Africa is good. Of course you're moving from Africa because Africa has become become toxic for you. You feel like, yes, I cannot continue living in this African country because it has become very tough for you in that country. So the only solution we have is just to make sure that now we are working on the mending of the countries, because nobody is going to come and mend these countries for us. Nobody is going to come and bring an African currency for us. It is only us who can work for that. It is only us who can introduce that and achieve that, because we are determined, because we are united. So if we really want to have one Africa, if we really want to have the best continent, we must start working hard on achieving that. Yes, we really do. We really do need to do that, because we cannot keep on running from the problem all the time. Who is going to solve it? We're the only people who are supposed to solve the problem. So if we keep on running from the problem, we don't expect now the foreigners to come and try solve it for us. Of course, they are going now to bring more problems. Anyway, let me go through the comments as I see what people are saying on the comment section. I see K. Williams is saying, I vote for you to be president, okay? I don't take moonshine. You come on. And also you're saying, Ansan Cannon is saying, Ketiland is a real place. Yes, very true. And also ICK Williams is saying, a revolution is needed for black people nationwide. Very true. Ansan Cannon is saying, which way did the white people go? Perpetual child. And K. Williams is also saying, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, stand up, black people. Very true. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. We need to stand up for our rights. We need to say, no more. Enough is enough. We cannot take no more. But I see K. Williams is saying the solution is unity. Of course, the solution is unity. Kid, you're saying exactly 100%, Katie. Indigenous black man, Karibu Sana. You're saying peace. It is voluntary gentrification. And also, I see Ansan Cannon, you're saying, Katie, the way you say crackers, I'm going to start saying cracker with a Kenyan accent going forward. Did I say it in a funny way? I didn't even notice, but I see indigenous black man saying they want to remove Africans from Africa and its government to being under their government too. Yes, I keep on telling Africans this. They want Africa without even the Africans. Now imagine where Africans will be placed at. This is why they keep on bringing homosexuality. They keep on pushing this agenda to Africans, because they want to finish Africans. Remember, it is depot. Yes, this is why we have so many Africans getting into this shit. This is why they keep on pushing their nonsense on us. But I see K. Williams is saying, wake up, people. Put down that religion, because the revolution will not be televised. Very true. Yes, everybody needs to wake up. It is high time we as African people we get to wake up, because at the end of the day, if we don't, now who is going to fight for our rights? Who is going to fight for our motherland? Who is going to do this for us? We only got ourselves. And it is high time we stand for ourselves. But let's get to the main focus of the day. I see time is not really on our end, and it is about South Africa. First, power. Now it is water. What is happening in South Africa? They started with the power cuts. Right now, it is water. What is happening in South Africa? It is crazy with what is happening in South Africa. It is crazy how hard they are coming on destroying African countries. But the peace of normally tranquil, suburban, road near South Africa's capital, that is Pretoria, is being shattered by the sound of drilling. These are not prospectors are looking for a new source of country's mineral wealth, but workers digging for an arguably more precious resource, water. Private boreholes like this one being excavated in Fontaine are springing up across the wealthier neighborhoods in the country's economic heartland, which taps have been running dry. Somebody says, I am tired of not knowing when we will have water and when we won't. Others are saying having a borehole means won't have having a borehole means we won't have to depend the government on the government so much. And much of the domestic water supply here depends on electricity to pump it from the source of the vast high plain on which the cities of Johannesburg and Pretoria sit. So if they are waiting for water to be pumped using electricity, and we don't have electricity in the country, how are they even expecting to have water? And that is the notion. Every time they're just destroying African countries one by one, one by one, one by one. And this coon called Ramaphosa is busy talking about peace talks again now between Ukraine and Russia. He even risks his life going to Poland and Russia without his bodyguards, without his security, because he's going to talk about a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. Yet, his country is suffering because they don't have water. His country is suffering because there is no electricity. But he's busy going to mend a peace between European nations. This shows how stupid some of us are right here in Africa. You're going to extinguish a fire that is burning in somewhere even far from your neighborhood, leaving your own home to burn. Yet they want to say we are the best president for this country. What has Ramaphosa done for the country? What has that person done for South Africa? It is except from welcoming the Europeans. Remember, up to date, apartheid is still practiced in South Africa. Racial segregation still practiced in South Africa. Yet we have Ramaphosa going to Ukraine, telling them to unite themselves, or rather, talking about bringing peace between the two nations. Yet his own country is not even united. Yet his own black people are suffering in his own country. And these are just the people we call Oreos. You're black on the outside, but inside you're very white. You're an Oreo. Why do we have racial segregation in South Africa while we have a black president? Why do we have apartheid in South Africa while we have a black president? You know, it doesn't make sense. South Africa right now, we even have homosexuality everywhere. Is like, if you run a black person who has been influenced with this homosexuality nonsense, you'd go to South Africa and live there comfortably because it is allowed. Things are just going very bad for Africans. Man, this is just crazy. Now imagine why would you even allow you black people to be oppressed in their own country. Yet you are the president. You have every right to help your own people, but you decide to be a coon. You decide to be a stupid person and now go for the whites instead of your own black people. But South Africa's recent electricity wars, with the regular lengthy scheduled blackouts, have had a knock-on effect on the supply of water. All of our stations, they need electricity, they need power. You have to pump water everywhere where it is needed, says Sipho Mosai, the head of state-owned Rand Water, one of the country's main water providers. Electricity is really at the heartbeat of what we do, and if we don't have it externally, at least for now, it becomes a problem. Some days I don't have both water and electricity, and this can be for days at a time. It makes daily life an insufferable, says Ziggy Langa, a 35-year-old private world manager. She lives in a two-bedroom apartment in an affluent suburb in the north of Johannesburg with her sister, who is a trainee doctor. She now stocks up on water when it is valuable and goes to a gym to take a shower. My water bill stays the same even with all cuts. I feel frustrated. I don't have access to water alternatives, and that would make this bearable for me, she adds. There are, of course, millions of South Africans who have lived without having water piped into their homes for years. But the intermittent domestic supply is just one aspect of multi-pronged problem facing the water industry. We're in a state of systematic failure. The water sector is collapsing. This is now the water sector collapsing. We have the electricity, that is power supply sector also collapsed. It is collapsed to a point that we don't have water. We cannot be able to pump water. The power sector is already collapsed. This is now water sector collapsing. How will people survive without electricity and water? Let's not even talk about electricity. How will people survive without water? You know, they are destroying African countries one by one, but these puppets are just too blind not to see what is happening. Busy having foreign trains, or rather international trips every day, yet they don't care about the living conditions of their own citizens. I see indigenous black man is saying dig wells for water. With what resources? With what money? Kid, you're saying the South Africa is now a shithole. I believe 100%. Also, you're saying exactly 100%, Katie. Why? Why do we have the South African president being black, yet we have black people being oppressed in that state? Indigenous black man, you're saying, Akid Newsom, what happened with the mountain of gold found in Uganda? They stole it. Nobody talks about it right now. Kid, you're saying, because white people control the economy of South Africa, Katie. Of course. Kay Williams is saying that is a terrible that is a terrible way to live. The government should be punished for that and get them out of the office. Very true, but who has that power? Kid, you're saying Joby said her South African man will not be able to wash his ass, Katie. Of course, he will not be able to wash his black ass because there is no water. Kay Williams is saying that is why I'm not impressed with black people in the high places. It means nothing. Very true. You're just in a high place for a name. Because if you are there and you're enjoying being there. You should help other black people to get there. Indigenous black man is saying South Africa is a part of the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and the South Africa BRICS. Yes, of course, we've seen South Africa is part of that, and this is why we are saying this country actually, you'll hear the next time you'll hear about South Africa, they'll start saying, South Africa is not in Africa. They'll even overturn the map once again. But it is crazy to see now we have black people suffering under the black president. It is just sad for those African people. But I see, okay, but now imagine there's no electricity in that country, there's no water in that country. What are the people going to do? How are they going to survive? Their president is busy walking around the continent. Of course, he's not gonna experience the problem or rather, the same problem the citizens are experiencing, because he has money. Remember, power can buy you everything or anything. It is just crazy. It is very crazy. These African cons should be like, they should be charged with the crimes against humanity, because how are you expecting your own citizen to survive without water? We keep on saying water is life. Now, it is just crazy. Very, very, very sad for our African people. I see K. Williams is saying, stay strong, Katie. We as the people will rise up. It's been a living hell since them as slaves that came to Africa. Very true. And also, I see indigenous black man, you're saying they use that to say Egypt was not in Africa too. Nothing we knew under the sun. Very true. Very true. Nothing even surprises me nowadays, because you'll hear everything. Everything. I see Kivia saying, but Katie, they have Stacey Thomas and her daughter in South Africa. I hope they have water to wash their bodies and to drink as well, because it is. Which side did they say? They said they are in Johannesburg. I hope they are not in Pretoria, because it is sad for those in Pretoria. The conditions over there are very bad. No electricity, no water. In a resourceful country like that one. Very, very, very sad. But anyway, family, we are coming to the end of our show for today. My voice is actually gone. I'm gonna take a lemon juice after this. But anyway, we're coming to the end of our show for today. Asanteni sana for keeping it interactive. Indigenous black man. I saw Robert Williams somewhere today. Robert Williams, asante sana. Jerome Mosquito, I also saw you somewhere. Asante sana. Keith K. Williams, and to the rest of the silent listeners. Asante Ansan Kenwan as well. Asanteni sana for keeping it the Blackout Fire Network. Thank you for interacting with me, and also thank you for your comments, your sentiments, and everything. But I see Kerry Williams is saying those mayonnaise people are cancelled to the planet. And also, Keith, you're saying, yes, Katie, Johannesburg. Okay. John Mosquito, you're saying, it's all damn singing you're doing, Katie. Lol. No, I am I am coming to the end of the show, and I must sing for you, of course. Yes. In case you're experiencing the longest day on this year, or rather in this year, just get to enjoy some seconds of my singing, because this day is going to be long for you. Remember, I told you we are at summer solstice, so today is the longest day of your life. Anyway, much love, family. Have an amazing, amazing day, and also get to enjoy the rest part of your day. And remember to join us on the next episode of Tubonge. Make sure you also smash the like button before you leave. And also, I see Indigenous Black Man is saying, send the South Africans Red Fox album. You got to wash your ears. Kwaherini, much love.
listening to the African Diary Show with Kati. That's it. Baby, you should know that you like if you got me short, then I would rather rain. So I thought I could help out really. They should know that you're mine. That you're mine, that you're mine. And I ain't never letting you go. Oh, baby, you should know that you're my life. Like if you come with you, then I'll be by your side. So I thought I could help out really. They should know you're my life. That you're mine, that you're mine. And I ain't never letting you go. You baby, right? You got me up, and I'm mine. And I don't wanna say why I would have died if you left me inside. So let it be the same, let it be me and you in this game. You baby, right? You got me up in my mind. What? I'll take it just straight down, nitakupenda wewe.